Hello. Today, we are in Roblox on my tablet. My computer can't really record videos anymore, so that's that. Anyway, today we will be playing Forsaken Combat, and we will be doing this for I don't know how long. It's gonna be a bit, but we're gonna be going into my private server today because it's easier to show things there. But what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be doing a series about each killer and survivor, their strengths and weaknesses from my personal gameplay. This is how much I've gained from playing the game. So if anything's wrong, feel free to say something, and then I'll correct it. But today we're gonna be starting with the first killer, Slasher, and really there's not much to say about him. So let's go to killer. And now, let's start. So, Slasher's a very simple killer. He's good for new players because he's not very skill-based. He's very simple. And other than that, there's not much more to say. But he's a very simple killer with a couple of abilities. So I'm going to be showing off those abilities right here. So, each noob will be a survivor for testing. So let's start with Slash. Slash does 20 damage and inflicts bleed. 1. I don't remember how long, but that's not much damage. If we look at the noob, it did about, I think like 28 damage overall, which isn't bad. Then we have the head. The 20 damage hit that inflicts helpless hits. Then we have Gashing Wound, a barrage of hits that has some spread. It can send them very low. Then Raging Pace changes everything. It causes Slash to be I'm gonna do something so we can. I'm also showcasing everything so you can learn. So Slash while in Raging Pace can become a dashing 25 damage. The head in Raging Pace does 35 damage. As you see, that killed that guy. Then we have Gashing Wound. Now each attack does more damage. Like 2+ damage. I don't remember how much that is. Now let's talk about his strengths and weaknesses. One of his biggest strengths is that he's very beginner friendly. So he's not that hard to play. And therefore, he can be very simple when it comes to quickly ending and starting fights. But his main ability is Raging Pace in this game. Because you become invincible for a short period, and you deal more damage with your attacks, you can very quickly shut down servers. If you are good enough. I wouldn't say shut down servers, but I'd say you can quickly cause a lot of damage. And that's one of his biggest strengths. He's not hard to play, he's very simple. And therefore, well, he's very beginner friendly, and when people are experienced with him, they can quickly start and end fights. Now, his weaknesses are people that can predict you. Because if someone can predict you well, Raging Pace won't be able to do anything. Because Gashing Wound you become completely immobile while using with Raging Pace. The head will send you forward, which means it's a less risky option, but if you're going high risk, high reward, Gashing Wound is better. But remember, Raging Pace has a timer, so you only go, I don't know how long. But you don't get that long. I don't know why mine's doing that, but it'll be fine. It normally lasts longer, but if you don't hit anything, it will eventually end. But the two characters I'd recommend for him are Guest1337 and Slasher. Because Slasher doesn't have a single ranged move, which means Guest1337 can block each move. And therefore, there's not much you can do against that. But the next thing is that, Slasher versus Slasher is one of the best ways to beat a Slasher because let's say you're going up against Slasher and he misses his Gashing Wound, Raging Pace, or Raging Pace Behead. Then you can go into Raging Pace and then use your Behead or Gashing Wound and quickly retaliate and punish. And therefore, Slasher versus Slasher is your best counter. But anyway, that's the Slasher episode. Next episode we will be doing... Well, I'm not going to be doing every character. I won't be doing Noob, Builderman. I won't be doing Noob, Elliot, Builderman. I'm only going to do all the characters with a stun. Because I'm just not doing that. I also won't be doing Deuce Kadar because the main reason I'm not doing those 4 is that they don't really do anything in combat. Therefore, there's no reason for me to cover them, and no one really plays them. So I don't need to cover them. So, other than that, that's the end of the first episode of this very long series. So not tomorrow, but next time I make an episode, it will be about Shedletsky. Bye-bye!